got me to the light.
RadioOnFire.com. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here, and you see, I got a special guest, the infamous, the notorious,
Notorious
Luscious Kisses. Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? You good?
Swell.
You swell. Okay. So, of course, RadioOnFire.com. We're Baltimore, Maryland, Radio on Fire Studios. So this is the 20-year anniversary of the death of the Brooklyn rapper Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls. You obviously remember Biggie Smalls, right?
Of course.
Did you ever meet Biggie?
No.
No?
I wish. I probably would have been like father in my career.
You would have been Faith Evans, right?
Hello. Faith number 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I think that's Charlie Baltimore's Faith number 2.
Oh, I'd have been, okay.
Faith
so,
number 3.
Wait a minute. No, Lil' Kim was 2.
Well, yeah.
Charlie
well, no, I think
Baltimore
Lil' Kim
3.
was 1. Well,
No, Faith was 1
because she married him.
and she had the baby, remember?
That's true.
Then it was Lil' Kim.
Okay.
You know, even though he helped out with the career and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The bitch that would do, you know, the ride or die bitch. You know, the hood.
Gotta have that.
Yes. And then you got Charlie Baltimore. I don't know what kind of place that she had took upon on. But it'd have been Luscious Kisses 4. I was like 15 around that time, but I was still doing a whole lot at that age.
Were you having sex at that time?
Yeah, I was. I said I was doing a whole lot at that age.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember first hearing, I was working in a record store at this time, so I remember hearing about Biggie through some of his songs, even before they was on Bad Boy, when they was on a Mary J. Blige remix, I think, Super Cat remix. Like I remember early Biggie songs. Then this is before Biggie even had a record out, you know, like his own record. Of course, he started Bad Boy Records. Biggie started having hits. I mean, the big radio hit for Biggie was Juicy, but he had, I had a couple records before that. But so I just remember hearing Biggie's song Juicy. What was so crazy when he was just saying, I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. I remember that part on the song. But I spun a lot of.
My part was.
What was your part?
It was all a dream.
Okay. But that was a big hit. Big hit in the club. Big hit in the club. Of course, he went on to have a legendary career. I got to see him perform once.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it awesome?
It was wild. It was at Hammer Jacks. It was. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it wasn't like he was like giving like a super duper show, but it was. I mean, it was good.
I mean, it was
hot.
But times is different from those days until now. Now they
absolutely.
Lights and fireworks.
Yeah. It wasn't like that, but it was a good show, and people got to see the songs. Hear the song that you wanted to hear.
Right.
And so. I was surprised when he married Faith Evans. It kind of came out of nowhere. Like they didn't even know each other that long.
That's how you saw the movie.
Well, I mean, the movie was not really reality, but bits and pieces. But based on the story, they knew each other for 2 weeks, and then they got married.
That means that can I say it?
Sure.
That means that she got some good pussy. She got some good pussy. We're going to marry that good pussy.
Yeah.
She's a good bitch. No shade. No,
yeah, well, I mean.
Seriously, she just was a good woman. And I guess that was like, I'm a bad boy. She's a good woman. And this would be the person that will help me in certain ways and stuff.
Yeah.
She was different.
She was different. She was different. I always liked Faith Evans. As far as Lil' Kim, I never saw like he was so tall and she was so short. It was.
I thought you was about to talk bad about her.
No, I love Lil' Kim. I love Lil' Kim.
Female rap artist.
Yeah, I love Lil' Kim. After Biggie died, her career was definitely affected. I don't think she would have the surgeries that she has now if Biggie was still alive.
But I was also told that, she was in a relationship and a guy beat her and broke a jawbone on her face, and that's why one of her surgeries came up. I don't know how true that was, but I was told that.
I never thought about that. She has been on the receiving end of abuse. Yeah. She's talked about it in interviews. Even Biggie abused her at times. So I mean, I guess I never thought about that.
So that was the reason why.
If that caused her first surgery, then
because it takes a while for you to reconstruct somebody's face again.
Sure.
Once the jawbone is broken, whatever else was broken in your face,
sure.
you have to refix it and refix it and refix it so you can get it the way that you need to get it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I was told about the abuse and stuff like that. So maybe that's why, and it must have put her through depression. I'm quite sure. I mean, that should put you through depression. Being abused.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
I'm not gonna make any excuses, but at least when she was dating Biggie, they were very young.
She really loved him.
They were very young. I think she did.
Yeah,
they were young, so
she did. Remember, she was pregnant by him, and she got an abortion because he told her, and she was upset about Faith and all this other extra stuff. Yeah, I truly think that she really, was in love with him.
I believe that, and she went through a lot with Faith Evans, obviously. But they seem like they're in a good place now.
Yeah, and thank God to that, because at the end of the day, we all grown women. So he's not here no more. He's here mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and everything else. So what you gonna do? Keep banging each other or keep arguing with each other for what? Over someone that's not here no more?
Right.
Just patch it up and keep it on moving. And I'm glad that they support each other and they be able to now work with each other. And
they were on the
like
Bad
that.
Boy tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was liking it. I said, yes, girl power, yes, because you look at it, it just was a mess all these years.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not like Kim's gonna be able to beat Faith, because that's a tall glass of water.
Yeah, but that's a tall glass of water. But Lil Kim is a little crazy too. She's a little crazy. She don't mind going back to jail. Faith ain't that jail type person. She's a spiritual woman.
I don't think. Yeah,
she's
I don't think so.
She's a spiritual woman.
Yeah.
Lil Kim is like, I'll bang bang, shoot and punch you in your face kind of female. She ain't that. Lil Kim ain't that spiritual woman. She that hood chick. Faith, on the other hand, is a spiritual woman.
Yeah.
She's not about that. She's really not about that life.
Well, that's I think that's good, and like you said, I'm glad that the two of them are in a better place. So as Biggie's career was moving along, I got to listen to some interviews, and I heard some interviews with one of Diddy's kid's mother.
The first one?
Yeah. The one who's in the, if you remember the video.
Women, not the model chick, is it?
No, before her.
The model one got twins and other.
Yeah, this is the stylist, Misa.
Right?
That's the stylist, and so she's in the hot tub in the Biggie song
with the blonde hair.
Exactly, where he said, your friends get with my friends, and you can be friends. Like, she's sitting right there at that key moment. She was talking about styling Biggie and changing his image from, being hood to being
boss.
Yes, and black as ugly as ever. But still women desiring him. So you being a lady who obviously likes dark skinned guys, right?
I do.
What was it about Biggie? Like, did you find Biggie attractive? Like, what was it?
Well, I'm actually not attracted to big guys, but I have dated big guys before.
But you did not date Biggie?
No, I never dated.
I was trying to clear that up. I don't know if that was out there.
But what I'm saying is, you can make an ugly man look good by changing his clothing, by dressing him up and making him look a certain way, by a haircut, or by some Versace shades or something like that. You can make an ugly person look good.
A Coogee sweater? Did the Coogee sweater help?
Yeah.
Okay.
That time Coogee was hot.
Yeah, it was. It was very hot. Like, you put it on, it would make you sweat. It was hot. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to wear Coogee a lot. So.
I had a Coogee sweater. I had a couple Coogee sweaters. I had some Coogee hats.
I had two, and that was it.
You had a Coogee hat?
I never had a Coogee hat.
Okay. I mean, you wasn't living like me, but it's
but I had them fucking them suede jeans in the front with leather.
That is so classic.
I had all kinds of that
classic.
shit.
So you had the suede front. Dang, you taking it back.
No, but I know this is out the subject.
Sure, okay.
But do you remember the Diplomat from
the Diplomat shop?
Yeah,
of course.
My mother used to work there.
Wow, that is a throwback.
Yes,
I couldn't afford to go in the Diplomat shop, but yeah.
My mother used to work there.
They had mad commercials.
They had mad
Diplomat commercials. So you felt like, so it wasn't that Biggie was attractive per se, but his swag made so that was.
But you gotta look at it. Like I said, you had Faith, was different from Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
So his swag was different from both women. So you got a good woman, you got a bad woman. So I'm gonna have a good swag with this one, I'm gonna have a bad swag with this one. So it's like it's different swags.
Yeah, and he definitely had those. So he had, like, with the music, you can see he had songs that were hood, and he had songs like Hypnotized that, you know, wasn't hood, and it could work in a crossover type of thing. Like with Tupac, when the whole situation happened with Tupac, of course, Tupac saying that he slept with Faith Evans. Of course, we don't know if that happened or not. But he was just trying to say things to get under Biggie's skin and try to make him respond, which I think that he responded with who shot you, but
listen,
he didn't say his name.
I think personally, I'm going to say me, I think personally, he never even slept with Faith. They was in a club, they take a picture. That's what y'all do. When y'all celebrities, y'all take pictures with each other, right?
Right.
At them days, social media wasn't popping.
She got on his Instagram for that time period.
I'm just sitting there saying. So that was Instagram.
So you just think it was just a picture and just something to say.
And it's just something to say to get underneath his skin. Okay, well, I'm already mad because, well, was it at the time when he supposedly got robbed? And
it wasn't long before that. Maybe it was like a year and a half after that.
Situation that happened. So Tupac was under his, still was in his
feelings.
But,
I mean, he did get shot.
Yeah,
so
he
yeah,
did though.
Yeah.
I mean, he did though. But I don't think that Biggie really had nothing to do with that. I don't think that Suge Knight still had everything to do with all of this situation.
With the death, but the initial shooting was before Suge Knight was involved.
I don't think it was Biggie.
I don't think it was Biggie either, and I don't think he didn't say that it was Biggie. He said that you knew who did it.
I don't think,
which he may have known who did it.
But he may have, but also you may have Suge Knight may have known and might have set it up. And
the initial robbery, no. The initial robbery was before he got with Suge. Now, if you're talking about Tupac's death, maybe Suge Knight did, maybe. But the initial shooting in New York, no. Suge Knight didn't have anything to do with that. But that sparked the beef. He's
so
initially.
Do you think that he had something to do with the shooting in that studio, whatever the case?
Biggie?
Yeah.
No. But what I do think is that, like Tupac said, it happened in your neighborhood. It happened in the studio that you're going to. If he didn't know who did it, he could have found out who did it.
Right.
Is the way Tupac was looking at it. But I think this is.
So he was just basically sitting there saying that you wasn't there to like.
Correct. This happened in your. It's just like if somebody comes here to Radio on Fire, and something happens to somebody, they're gonna try to say, maybe who is involved. I guess that's the rationale he was trying to look at.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's the right thing, but that's just the way he was looking at it. And but let's just say that Biggie did know who did it, right? Could he violate the code and tell Tupac, yo, was this, he might put himself in harm's way. Who knows? I don't know.
Put himself in harm's way.
Definitely. So that that's just the start of the beef. And after that, he goes to jail. He comes out of jail. He gets on death row, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and he starts saying stuff about
then of
Biggie.
Course, you got Suge Knight. I keep talking about
putting a battery in his back.
Putting the battery in his back.
Definitely put the battery in his back.
This is what you need to do. Just lash out on him, lash out on him. But Biggie just was like, he wasn't trying to beef with Tupac. They was trying to, but then here go Faith at the club and they take a picture.
Why did she do that though? Why did she do that?
But what's wrong with that? I don't think it's nothing wrong. If we're cool, or if like, oh, well, that's Tupac and I'm Faith Evans, let me go take this picture.
She looked at it like she didn't have anything to do with it. Oh, wait, your husband. Oh, but your husband's involved. No.
I just don't think she had nothing to do with that.
She didn't have anything to do with it, but I'm just saying.
I just think
why? Is that disloyal?
She was there. Yeah. She was there the moment, so she's a target. You understand what I'm saying? She's there, so she's a target. I'm gonna go ahead and get that face.
So if she didn't, then he would have.
I don't think that she slept with Tupac.
She probably didn't. She probably didn't. But we don't know.
But we don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know. But I'm just saying.
There's a lot of things that we didn't know back then because this is pre-social media. Right. Ed Lover told a very interesting story about Tupac and Left Eye, and he was saying that he was in the club and he had a hotel. And it was at a party, and Tupac said, "Yo, let me hold your hotel room keys. I'm getting ready to take this girl upstairs." And so he's like, "Who you ready to take upstairs?" And this Left eye was the girl he was ready to take upstairs. So he was like, all right. So he gave him his keys. He goes upstairs, and he says like within like 10 minutes they come back downstairs, and so he gave him his keys
out in
back.
10 minutes.
So he's like, yo, like what happened? So he said that we got upstairs and she took off her clothes and she had on some Naughty by Nature drawers, and he said that he couldn't fuck her because she had on the Naughty by. It was just weird, funny. And so Tretch was his homeboy. He just said, you know, I don't remember that Naughty by Nature, like it was written a whole bunch of times, like Naughty by Nature, you know what I mean? And he just said it turned him off and he just didn't fuck her. So my point is that it's so many celebrities that's fucked that we don't know who fucked who.
Right. You right.
So we don't know. Faith could have. It's not like Faith is going to say now, yeah, I fucked Tupac, or even then.
She definitely
we don't know.
That now.
We don't know, but we don't know. We wasn't there.
But we don't know.
We wasn't there.
I mean,
listen, if I had the chance, I would have hit Faith.
Me too. And I'm a bitch. So yeah. Fingers and all.
So Biggie, I guess so the second, did you like the first album better or the second album?
Which one?
Did you like the Ready to Die album where he's got the little baby on the cover, or did you like the other album, the double album? They had like Hypnotize and like Notorious Thugs, Life After Death, yeah. Or you don't even know which was which. It just all meshes together.
I do know which one because he had like the little hearse on the fucking
exactly.
I know
exactly.
it is.
Okay. Shout out to you.
I ain't into all that rap shit just because I'm a female rap artist. But I always listen to Tupac and Biggie Smalls, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been a big fan of theirs. Tupac is one of my favorite rappers other than Jeezy. Those are my two favorite rappers.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love Biggie work. I do love his music. So I have his CDs, you know, back in the days or whatever the case might be. I don't think I like the first one.
Yeah. I think
like the first one.
I think I might be with you there. I think that. I personally think that if
it was all a dream,
if Life After Death had been a single album instead of the double album, I think it would have been a monster. I think that they put some songs in there.
Do you think they jinxed their own death by putting these names up there? Because you know he had that, and then you had Tupac had the oh my god, what was it?
Machiavelli?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still think that he's dead or he's alive?
He's definitely dead.
Yeah,
Both guys are dead.
I just
I think that I think you can. I don't believe in luck, but I think that you can speak some things into existence. I believe that you can bring negative energy your way, and so you know the first album he wanted to call the first album Not Ready to Die. He wanted to call it Teflon Dawn, and Diddy was like, no, don't call it that. They were trying to go with this whole theme of the Ready to Die thing and telling the story from the perspective of somebody that doesn't have anything to lose. And that was a lot to get him to change the name of that because he wanted to go with something different. But I think there was a concept. I think that, you know, he wanted to do Ready to Die. He wanted to do Life After Death. And I think he wanted to do Born Again. I think that was the next title that he had. So I think it was just like a series. And I don't think it was anything more than that. I think it was just art. I don't think he was, but, you know, I think that unfortunately, now had the situation with Tupac not happened, or had they been able to squash things like it was planned, I think that they both would have been, well, at least Biggie would have been okay. But once Tupac died, then you can't squash it. Now, if Tupac didn't die when he died, maybe a year later, or they would have been okay. And, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, what happened to Tupac happened, and they never get a chance to squash it. And now Tupac fans have an attitude. And then Biggie comes out there, and then it just, you know, unfortunately, what happened. Do you remember when you heard about Biggie dying?
Yes.
Where were you?
Oh God, East Baltimore, where I was at.
Well, yeah. So
was in the house.
You was in the trenches, okay. So like, were you like? How did you found it the next day, like that night? Like, how did you? Wasn't like we had social media, so how did you find out?
We didn't. I think I was with my first love.
Okay.
And that's how I got hooked on to listen to Tupac and Biggie. But he's listening to Tupac all the time.
Did he wear a scarf on his head like Tupac did?
No, but he just listened to Tupac all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like I started learning the words, and cause you know you listen to it all the goddamn time. But when he told me about it, I was like, "Dang, that's fucking crazy."
Yeah, I was. It's so funny because I was in bed because it was late and it happened on the West Coast, so they're on West Coast time, so they're 3 hours behind where we were. So I was in bed, and I was in. I remember exactly where I was living in my second apartment. I was in bed with my.
That's crazy. I was staying with my
adopted son's mother.
Patterson Park.
We were in bed. You was in Patterson Park. Well, I was where it's safe at in Woodlawn.
It was Patterson Park in Madison.
Well, that's not safe.
3 stories from home. I remember that day too. Go ahead, listening.
So I was in bed. My phone rings. My man Greg's like, "Yo, Biggie just got killed." I'm like, "What? Fuck out of here!" And that shit was just crazy. Now, mind you, Tupac had already just died a few months before that, maybe like 6 months before that, and then you get the news that Biggie died. I think that, and I've talked about this a lot of times, I think that Biggie had 2 albums, and while he's very talented, I don't think he's going to be one of the greatest, but I just don't think that he had a large enough catalog to be labeled the greatest, number 1 greatest. But I think he's in the conversation for all-time greats. But I just don't think that he had a large enough collection of work.
So who you think? I think Tupac. Only reason why I say Tupac because he was very lyrically. Is I'm saying the word right?
He was very lyrical?
Yes. His words.
You're saying Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Okay.
So if you listen to his words of his song, it's like it meant something. It was something.
Sure.
Something.
I think both of them. I think both of them had that.
No, but it was different. Like I felt like Tupac was speaking the truth.
And Biggie was lying?
No.
Okay.
Don't do that. 'Cause I'm a Biggie fan too, so don't do that.
I like them both.
I mean,
Tupac
is my favorite rapper, but don't. That's my.
I like them both. I
But
think that Tupac's obviously. I don't think Biggie liked going to the studio. So I think that when it's time to make an album, he goes in the studio. I think he liked to, rap around, but actually going in the studio, I think was a process. And the reason why I say that is because he didn't have as much material recorded. Tupac lived in the studio.
He lived in the
so he
studio.
had so much material.
Yes.
Even after he died, he had albums and albums of material that we hadn't even heard. Biggie, it wasn't like that. They keep recycling the same songs and with Biggie because he didn't record as much stuff. So Tupac loved the studio. Biggie recorded when he needed to. And so
he just had a lot to
he
get
just
off
had
his
more.
chest.
Yeah, Tupac had more, released more music.
Yeah.
But I think both of them are really, really great artists.
They are.
And it's definitely, I don't seem like 20 years has passed.
Yeah.
20 years.
97, 2017.
Yeah. So this was the day.
I was 17 years old.
I was 16.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. Shout outs to me.
Shout out to you.
But it's just crazy though because they was both some good artists.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It just their
Two of the
life
greats.
had to have been taken so soon.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because just imagine where they'd have been at this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's no telling. It's no telling. We can't even begin to speculate. A lot of times people say, "Oh, if Biggie was still alive, this one wouldn't be where he is, or that one." That's not true.
That's not true.
And that's not true.
That's not
That's
true.
not true. And Jay-Z was out when Biggie was alive.
He sure was.
He had released his first. He only released one album. I think he was on the second album at that point when he died, or getting ready to release it. He would have still been alive. They were friends. People talk about him using using bits, but they were friends. So it's kind of like he's looking out for his friend and keeping, yeah. So I think that he clearly.
No, Jay-Z's an awesome artist.
Yeah, Jay-Z's definitely awesome artist. I think he's the best. I think he's the best actually because the longevity of his career. And you can say, well, if Biggie was here, he wouldn't. But Biggie, passed on, and so we can't really deal with the ifs. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were definitely. So, but let us know your thoughts in the comment section about Biggie, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at the Diamond K Show, and yours is Luscious XXX, right?
Luscious XXX.
Yeah.
No, Luscious Kisses XXX.
Luscious Kisses XXX. Sorry about that.
At Luscious Kisses XXX.
All right.